Hi there, everybody. Today we're starting on the table of contents of a book. The table of contents tells us what this book contains, or what stories are inside this book. This table of contents shows us that this book has 2 stories. In a different video, we've already read the story Move. Today on this video, we're going to read the story The Hare and the Tortoise. This story starts on page 32 of this book. This story is a folk tale or traditional tale. A folk tale is a story that has been read or told with words many times over a long period of time. So Rob Greco is not exactly the author. He's just retelling a folk tale that he's already heard. Most folk tales have animals as the characters, and most folk tales have a moral or something you can learn at the end of the story. Let's turn to page 32 of this book and find out which animals are the characters and what the moral of this folk tale is. The table of contents in this book is on page 1. We'll have to turn many pages to find page 32 of this book, so we'll turn more than one page at a time. Now we're on page 5. Still many pages to go to get to page 32. This page doesn't have a number. Let's turn just one page. This is page 23. Still need to keep going because 32 is a bigger number than 23. Here's page 29. That means we're getting close to 32. 32 is a little bigger than 29, so we'll turn just a couple of pages. And now we're on page 32, where the story, The Hare and the Tortoise, begins. The title of this story is The Hare and the Tortoise. The retelling of this folktale is by Rob Greco. You'll notice that all of the most important words in the title begin with a capital letter. The is the first word of the title, so it has a capital T and the rest are lowercase. Hare has a capital H and the rest are lowercase. Words like and the don't have to be capitalized because they're not as important. But tortoise is another important word in the title, so tortoise has a capital T and the rest lowercase. Let's read The Hare and the Tortoise, a folk tale. Hare was always bragging. "I am the fastest animal in the forest," Hare said. "No one is faster than I am." "You may be fast," Tortoise said, "but I can beat you in a race." "You cannot beat me," laughed Hare. "You are the slowest animal in the forest." Who do you think will win in a race between a tortoise, which is another word for a kind of turtle, and a hare, another word for a kind of rabbit? They had a race. Look at the picture at the beginning of the race. Where is the hare? Where is the tortoise? Who do you think will win this race? At first, Hare ran very fast. Tortoise was far behind him. "What a silly animal that tortoise is," Hare said. "He could never beat me in a race." Then Hare sat down beside a big tree. "I will stop here to take a rest," Hare said. Hare closed his eyes and fell fast asleep. It must have been a long race if Hare thought he had time for a nap. What do you predict will happen next in the story? Tortoise walked and walked. He never stopped. After a while, he passed Hare. All the animals in the forest cheered for Tortoise. Hare woke up. Hare looked behind him. Tortoise is so slow that I still cannot see him, Hare laughed. Then Hare looked toward the finish line. There was Tortoise. How is Hare acting? Would you want to be friends with someone that was saying rude things about another person in the race? Can you make a prediction about what the lesson is that we will learn from this folk tale? Hare ran as fast as he could, but it was too late. The slow and steady Tortoise had won the race. The characters in this story, Hare is one character, Tortoise is another character, and the other forest animals are the rest of the characters. In a traditional folk tale, the characters are usually animals, but we also learn a moral or a lesson about life. What lesson can we learn by reading about the tortoise and the hare? We can learn that even if you're not the fastest or the best at something, if you keep going, slow and steady wins the race. I hope you enjoyed this traditional folk tale about the tortoise and the hare.